welcome back to the Rise and Align podcast, where we talk about all things high vibrational. We are your hosts. My name is Demi, and
my name is Halie. Today we are doing something super fun with you guys. We are going to make spell jars. So we will take you along with us. It is a super good follow-up episode from our witch episode, Embodying Your Inner Witch. So come along with us. We'll talk you through what we're doing, and if you are on Spotify or YouTube, you should be able to watch the video as we go along.
yeah, we thought it would be fun to share with you something we do in our own practice. And it's something really fun to do around like full moons, which we're having tomorrow, a full moon in Aquarius. So we thought it'd be divine timing to share that with you and share, how you can create intention using tools.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I look at spell jars as you're basically filling it with your intentions of what you're wanting to call in, and it's a physical embodiment of those intentions. So you can keep it around you to have a reminder of this intention, but also typically we are putting in tools or energetic representations of what we're wanting to call in. So we'll kind of talk you through that as we go as well. Just getting rid of some mosquitoes.
On a side note, lavender and vanilla are good for getting rid of mosquitoes, and they're all natural, non-toxic. So that's fun.
Yes. So we typically start out with a spell jar. So we're making small ones today. This is a little spell jar. You can use any kind of jar you want. If you want to go crazy and do like a pickle jar spell jar, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen people do it before as like wedding gifts and stuff in a giant jar, and you can really put any intention in them, and I just think they're so much fun, and they're really pretty to look at too. So
yes, going off of that, spell jars are amazing gifts for people, or like kind of like a pick-me-up. Like if they're going through something, you can infuse it with whatever you want to give to them: healing, love, divine inspiration, whatever. You can fill your jar with it and give it to them, and they may not even have to know the details behind it, but just giving it to them for them to have in their house, super special.
Yeah. And two, I think that a lot of people have maybe different perspectives on witchy things or being a witch, and this doesn't have to be like you need to believe in magic in order to do this or in order to have this or anything. It can be more of just an intentional thing. Just like a lot of people use crystals as like a reminder to love themselves or be calm or centered or grounded, or what might it be. It can just be used as a tool like that. But you will see during this episode, we use many things that do have medicinal properties, and I do believe that means that they carry the frequency of the intention that we're meaning to put into them, which is cool too.
Yes. So do you have an intention that you are going to put into yours today?
I do. So today I would really love to put abundance and balance into my jar.
Mm-hmm. For mine, I'm also going to do abundance, prosperity, purpose, because that is very in alignment with Lunasa, which is an ancient holiday from August 1st to the 2nd, and it's very much representative of like reaping what you've sown and harvest and abundance, prosperity. So I want to align with that. And then I also want to align it with the full moon that we're having. So the full moon in Aquarius. So it really helping myself continue along my path in alignment, finding my purpose, and showing up authentic. I can't say it, but just showing up as my highest self, living my purpose, and embracing my individuality. So I'm gonna try to fit all of that in my little jar here.
Yeah. So the first step when I'm making a spell jar is to cleanse the jar. Typically you can do this with like sage or Palo Santo. Sometimes I have seen people do it with like moon water, or they'll start their jar with salt, because salt can kind of cleanse, take out toxins quite literally, and also it's used for protection. If you've ever been to New Orleans, you'll see that salt is often around the entryways of doors to keep out evil spirits.
Yes, yes. Same for me. I brought Palo Santo. I'm going to cleanse my jar. And then I usually always put salt at the bottom of mine to start
Mm.
with because it is purifying, cleansing, and it kind of just allows for like an energetic reset of the jar. And, you know, it's getting rid of any other energetic frequency it's been around.
Do you have moss over there?
Yes, but it's
I
fake moss.
I love it. I love it.
I think it's going to be really pretty and a good symbolic piece of nature, but it's not real moss, which would be even better, but
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. So just like, we talked about in our What It Means to Be a Witch episode, there really are no rules to this. You can put in whatever you want, and whatever those objects represent for you, that's the intention that you're putting in. So you can look it up, like what different herbs and things represent. A lot of people use like different crystals, seashells, anything like that to represent different intention, but whatever it means to you and
So
however you want to do it.
I'm burning my Palo Santo. I also have little fireproof dishes for us, so obviously you want to be careful when you're doing this. You know, do this responsibly.
Witches are known to start fires on accident. Especially with like smudge sticks. I know from experience. Oh my goodness, we have visitors. There's two squirrels chasing each other behind us. Hi guys. This is Fred and George.
So I have done a full moon ritual, and I did it inside where I was burning what I wanted to release, and I dropped my paper onto my carpet and almost started my house on fire. So a little bit traumatized. So it happens.
Happens to the best of us. I've definitely done that. One time I threw paper that I was burning into the toilet because it was like too big of a fire, and I was like, I better put it in some water, and then the toilet turned black, and I was like, oh no.
Yes. I've done that with a smudge stick where it lit too intensely and it started like burning super fast. Like I was like a fresh smudge stick, and it went through the whole thing, and I had to like run downstairs and throw it in the sink.
I've done that twice. I've done that twice now. And one time I didn't know. I left the house, and thank God it didn't start the house on fire, but it did burn through my dining room table. So do this responsibly.
Yes, be careful. So I think I have pink salt, like just pink salt here, but I also have this Himalayan pink salt mix with thyme and rosemary that I got at Aldi.
Oh, I love that. First of all, it probably tastes amazing.
Yes, I was like, nope, this is going in my witch kit. So it is here. So I'm going to put some of this in the bottom again for protection. And thyme and rosemary are both green, and they are helpful for calling in abundance, and they're also protective as well. So such a good mixture.
Yes. Also, because pink salt is pink, it can represent love as well. If you watched or listened to our color psychology episode, definitely a lot of those concepts go into spell jars. Like, I'm going to put a lot of green for abundance in my spell jar. And when I'm making one for love, it's usually like completely pink.
And I think that spell jars are such a fun way to be creative because you can truly put whatever you want in there. You can also, go foraging for your ingredients, and like they're just so fun and beautiful, and do whatever you want. Also, playing off this idea of color. Lunasa, this is a time of great abundance, and it's, peak summer / going into fall. So we're starting to think of like deep reds, oranges, golds, browns, and then of course green, which is good for abundance and connecting with your heart. So that is kind of where I'm going in with the color direction, I think, with mine today. But we'll see, because I might feel inspired by something else. And yellow. I did pick some stuff from my garden today. These were from a gorgeous
Oh,
lilies
so
in
pretty.
my yard. And then I have some fresh basil, which is really good for abundance, and then some mint.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
I
was going
got
to put
some
mint in
goodies
mine
there.
too. Perfect. Spell jars are really fun to do as like an arts and crafts thing too. It could be like a wine night or something like that. We do it a lot.
Yes.
When our friends do it too.
Even
Uh,
something to do with a kid, like one of your
yeah,
children.
I've done it with my child quite a few times. He loves doing it. He thinks it's so much fun, and it also like helps children learn how to embody those intentions that they want to bring in, which is so important and not something they really teach in school.
I also have this purple salt, which it says good for intuition, spirituality, divination. And I'm going to put some of this in mine just because I haven't used it yet and it's really pretty.
That is so cool. So that makes me I want to use it with this blue lotus because blue lotus is also like for your intuition, opening up your third eye. I'm going to put mint in mine a little bit. It's going to smell amazing. I always want to go back and burn my spell jars after they've been like around for a while and dry it out because I think that they would smell so good as like potpourri.
Yes. And you're like releasing those old, intentions or whatever, like things that are you're
Mhm.
ready to let go of. That's like a good way to do that, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
Okay. So I have these little baby crystals. I'm doing tiger's eye because that is a good crystal for prosperity and it's also good for Lunasa. So I'm adding that in mine. Tiger's eye is good for protection as well and courage. So, just helping me have the courage to show up as my authentic self and, you know, express myself, I guess.
I'm currently putting in a basil again for prosperity, and it smells amazing.
I'm obsessed with the smell of basil. I'll
It's
just go
so
like rub
good.
my fresh herbs and like get the smell of
Yes.
me because it's so good.
Side note, perfumes are often filled with toxins, so using things that are natural, like lavender oil or vanilla or mint or basil as perfume, also repels the bugs and it smells amazing and it's good for you. I am going to put in a bay leaf now. Bay leaves are really good for abundance as well. A lot of times people will write their intentions on the bay leaves, but I'm not going to do that this time because the jar is just so small that I'm breaking up the leaf to get it in there. But that's a fun thing to do as well.
Okay, I'm gonna put two lily leaves in mine. I have a yellow and a red. I wonder what the meaning of a lily is.
Purity and fertility. The sweet and innocent beauty of the lily flower has given it the association of fresh life and rebirth. Yay! Also, like we're always talking about, this is definitely an intuitive thing. And if you don't really know what certain things represent and you're just drawn to put them in there, it's really fun to just make a spell jar out of whatever you're feeling and then later on look up the meaning. And it usually ends up aligning with what you wanted it to, which is fun.
Yes.
Do you have any green crystal chips?
I have fluorite.
Yeah. Oh, I
Green
love
fluorite.
fluorite. Yeah, that's
Although there's
perfect.
like some blue in there.
Oh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm. I think I might put garnet in mine because it's really like a deep red.
So I am putting in blue lotus. And I'm going to put a little bit of purple salt on top of that. So fluorite is good for clearing your mind of distractions. I also do feel that because it is green, it is a good abundance stone as well. I really love green fluorite. It's one of my favorites.
Fluorite is also really good for like creativity and yeah, like focus, clarity.
I feel like I've been getting the message a lot lately to like focus on what you want to grow and on like growing your passions.
Mm-hmm. I think that aligns so much with the Aquarius full moon too. Is like when you align with your like true authentic self, like you're aligning with your purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all. I just really want to embody that. I feel like I have an idea of what my purpose is, but I don't know the whole path to get there. So I'm just
Mhm.
putting faith in the divine to lead me there.
I love that. I've been
Mhm.
feeling that too. Like the only way you can really do it. I mean, like some things you can make plans for, like you can plan things out, but other times you just have to take it day by day, moment by moment, and just be present and do what feels good
Mhm.
in this moment, and that will lead you into whatever you're meant to be
Mhm.
doing,
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like for so long I have like spent my life, especially, growing up in a certain environment, you're so focused on pleasing others in, doing what they want, or, doing things a certain way so you don't get in trouble, or, have judgment put upon you. Like, I feel like I've always been so focused on pleasing other people that I lost sight of who I was. And like, I didn't know, I'm still learning what it means to show up as my most authentic self and to like live freely and like truly be me. Like for a while I didn't know who I was. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know. And I feel like I've done that. It's been a journey, but I'm so much better at embodying that, and I'm still learning who I am. But it's still like you can get caught in like, oh my gosh, what if this person thinks this about me, or whatever. And like, I don't want to live like that. Like, I want to please myself. I want to do whatever feels good to me and makes me happy. And the people that are meant to be around you will naturally find their way to you no matter
Yes.
what.
Yes, I love that. And I think that something about that really like hit home for me. It's like when you are living authentically, you don't have to worry if people are going to accept you or not,
Mm-hmm.
because those people who resonate with you, who are meant to, who truly unconditionally love you, are going to be accepting of you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And in
Yeah.
fact, it's likely that you're going to attract people who are more like you and who love you more when you are acting out of that
Mm-hmm.
authenticity.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently had to make this big decision, kind of regarding my future. And I knew one direction would have been what society views as the right thing to do, and like what would have been the responsible thing to do, the right thing to do, or whatever. But I kind of I did the opposite of that because I knew that it truly didn't resonate with me, and if I continued along that path, I would be miserable, but also I wouldn't have the space to create the life of my dreams, like create so much more for myself, not just living someone else's idea of what I should be doing. It's like I would not have the space to be me. And that was kind of a hard realization, but so true. Like, you need to create space in order to make room for what's next and not like
Mm-hmm.
suppress it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that means like jumping. Sometimes that means like holding your breath and jumping when it's unknown, when it's not sure, when it's not the quote unquote logical decision that other your parents would tell you to do, like go to college. Well, no, I want to go live in Bali. And you have to follow your heart even if you don't know for sure what's going to happen. It's always better to do it.
And it requires so much trust, not only in yourself, but again, the divine, like
Mm-hmm.
trusting that anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get caught in a very, small minded uh, outlook on the world, and like what is really possible and like realistic. But I'm working on building like my most magical life, and I know that it's possible. And I just can't get caught up in like, again, the small mindedness of the world. Like, I am
Yes. You're
ascending into like the 4D, the 5D, like living
Yeah.
from a place that's so like almost living in a different dimension, like almost seeing things
I've been
very
feeling
differently.
that lately too, and I think like it's when you have the deep realization and you feel the knowingness that this is true, that the only limitations you have are those of your own mind, and many people don't truly feel that. They might even say that, but they don't feel that, and so they don't act out of it. But if you believe that something is possible, you're going to try. And if you believe that it's not possible, there's no way that you will ever make it happen, because you're not going to try if you believe it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that belief. You just When you switch the belief, you're 1,000 times more likely to get what you want because you're
Mm-hmm.
going to try.
Yeah. by just allowing, like letting go of the resistance for something, even just that creates so much space for new blessings to come in. You need action to actually make something happen, but even prior to taking action, it's just allowing can have such a major effect on your life and kind of get the ball rolling for you, I think. Like,
Yeah.
just trusting and letting go of the resistance and the struggle. It's like, you know,
Speaking of which, so I just put lavender into my jar. My jar is pretty much all purple and green at this point, which I'm loving. Lavender is amazing for anti-anxiety, for healing, for calm, peace, which is kind of what you need to embody that faith, you know? And I'm finding that my habitual belief system was to worry and to focus on what could go wrong. And I think that that's so common for so many people, to focus on what could go wrong rather than what could go right or how could we solve it. And as I'm changing that, I'm noticing not only is my external reality changing, but I'm appreciating it more. I am noticing when everything is all good, which is most of the time, by the way, if you really slow down and really be present with it. Most of the time, everything is all good. And when you take that time to be present with it, you can really appreciate it and bring more and more and more into your life. And I'm still, once in a while, I feel the old kind of subconscious beliefs creep in, and it's like, oh, when's it going to end? Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to go wrong? And it's like, no, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Assume best case scenario is going to happen. Most of the time, that is what happens. All of the time, if you allow yourself to believe that, you'll feel that and you'll act out of that, which is going to change the result anyway.
that's so true. And even just the simple concept of like, why worry about it until you have to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we can alleviate so much suffering by, you know, not allowing things that could happen, you know, control our thoughts and bring us like this sense of like anxiety. Anxiety is worrying about things of the past or the future,
Yep.
you know, and we always say like coming back into the present moment is going to cut through that. And there's no reason to worry about something that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm. Even if you think you're completely sure that something bad is going to happen, worrying will not help ever. It never changes the scenario. It never fixes anything. It only causes you unneeded stress. And especially worrying after and speaking about like the bad things that have happened to you afterwards, you're really just making yourself experience it more than once. And your subconscious mind, which is your emotional mind, doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination and dreams. So the more that you think about, you know, and dwell on negativity, the more that you are experiencing it again and again for no reason. So when you let go of that and just become present and realize, like, I don't need to continuously experience this, that's when your reality starts to change. And do it to feel good. Don't do it even to get anything. Do it to feel good, because it feels good to feel good. So I added cinnamon into my jar. It is wonderful for abundance. And it smells really good with lavender, by the way. I think I just discovered something new.
I'm also going to put cinnamon in mine. A fun little ritual that you can do. You can really do this anytime, but on the first of the month, you can blow cinnamon into your doorway, and that kind of represents, you know, calling in abundance and prosperity for the month ahead.
Yes, which I do that often. So I've also seen people do that in different ways. So you can literally just blow it on your hands. I've also seen people take a quarter and put a bunch of cinnamon on it and set it right into their front doorway so that when people walk in, the cinnamon comes in. But I've also seen people take salt and lavender and cinnamon and pour it onto their floors before they sweep the floor, so that you're like cleansing and bringing in abundance and calm into your home, which is fun, and it smells really nice, and it actually does help clean.
Yes, yeah. Even sweeping, like just
Mhm.
sweeping is energetically stirring the energy around in your house and removing like old stagnant energy. So when you're cleaning, you know, we talk about bringing these little intentions in as you're doing little mundane tasks each day. Like, as you're sweeping, like imagine this energy leaving your home, any of the stagnant old energy. So you're making space for new, abundant, healing, whatever energy you want to call in. You're making space for that as you're cleaning. I'm just sitting here like pretending I'm sweeping, like, oh, okay.
We're sweeping the energy currently. It's working. There's no mosquitoes anymore. Okay, I'm going to put in moon water, which was from a Capricorn full moon. I feel like Capricorn is very hardworking and intentional and focused energy, which you do need those things in order to bring about, you do need the action in order to bring about the manifestation. And I think that Capricorn is very action oriented.
And very grounded as well. I feel like Capricorn and Aquarius are good, hypothetically speaking, energies together, because like Aquarius is inviting you to, explore your individuality and show up authentically, and Capricorn energy is like grounded, so it's kind of grounding that air energy, but it's also going to, help you take that inspired action based off your purpose and your desires and showing up as your authentic self. Like, I love those two energies together.
I feel like that is really helping with my concept of balance as well. Like, I want both, like, the spiritual aspect and staying focused and taking action, but inspired action.
Yes. Yeah, because we always need that balance of masculine and feminine energies. Like, you can go back to that episode if you want to know more, but it is a balance of being and doing, of working hard and rest. You always need a balance of everything.
Oh, I'm gonna put moss in mine.
I think love energetically what cinnamon does, but it always like muddles it up a little bit.
I know, right?
Oh, I love it though.
I usually fail to put it in the beginning, which is when you should probably put it in.
I put hibiscus in mine because as it dried, it kind of became that deep red color, and I'm pretty sure I think it's hibiscus. It is like, it has something to do with Aphrodite and embodying like Aphrodite energy. Ooh. Which I've used in self-love jars before, because it's like very focused on like that feminine energy and bringing in sensuality. We have a little hummingbird by us. But yeah, so I added that to mine.
I'm gonna add some of that too. I want some feminine.
Yes. I put moss in mine for that like grounding earth energy, and to invite in that green, because I did not add anything green yet, which I really wanted in mine for abundance. Actually, I think I put basil in. Maybe I didn't. I need to put basil in here.
Orange is also really good for abundance. I have this like orange oil that has gold in it. I don't know where I put it, but that is really good for abundance as well.
Oh my gosh.
And then I have Florida water, which is like a witchy tool for cleansing. It's kind of similar to what people use like holy water for to cleanse things, but it smells like perfume.
I dry a lot of my flowers too. Like, I picked like from my lilacs that I picked this year, I dried some of those. I didn't bring those with me, but I have rose petals in here. I have lupins in here. I don't remember what flower this is from, but I have a purple flower in here. If I get a bouquet of flowers, I always reuse the petals afterwards, which is like a little witchy tip.
Yes, I always do too. I can't throw away flowers for the life of me. Oh, I'm gonna put in some dandelion. I don't know what like the spiritual meaning of dandelion is, but I do know that dandelion does heal and cure so many things.
Yeah, it's super good for your heart. So I feel like energetically it would be good for
your heart. Yeah.
I've been super into dandelion lately.
Yes.
Well, I've been making a lot of dandelion tea. I've been putting the leaves in salads. Yeah.
I feel like that is another good thing for balance, because I'm kind of putting like love and money in here, and also like focus and action and, kind of emotional manifestation as well.
Yeah. I feel like dandelion, because it has a lot of healing properties too, could be symbolic of like health, prosperity in a health way as well. Like, not just prosperity monetarily, but vitality, I guess, is a good word for that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to finish mine off with some more pink silt. Mine's a little messy. It used to be prettier, but it represents so many good things, and there is a ton of balance, and that makes me really happy. A little pink salt, a little purple salt. Looks like fairies could live in here.
I know, and that's the best part. I keep thinking mine's full, and then I can just like stuff more in there. It's letting me stuff more in there. I just added some blue lotus as well, and I think
Also, it's okay to not fill your spell jar, but for some reason I can't not. So
same. So when you're ready, you can put the cork back on top of it, and just you can kind of repeat a little like intention to yourself, or like a little mantra as you seal it. And then typically to actually seal it, where we would use a candle. So I do have a green one here for like abundance, and I brought this like yellowy orange one as well. I think that will be really good for my Lunasa jar. But so we'd burn the candle and let the wax kind of fall over the seal to seal it. Lock the intentions in. So I'm going to work on that.
I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to use the green candle, and then I'm going to actually try to glue some green moss on the outside just to decorate it, because that sounds fun to me.
Yes. I also had someone one time when I was doing like a yoga and spell jar class put their thumbprint on top into the melted wax, which I think is fun. Very like fun. Personalized.
Yeah. So again, be careful.
Yes. So I just like let it drip over the top. I don't think you can see mine, but I just let it drip over the top, and then you can hold it with your other hand to kind of to help it like fall around along the sides, which looks really pretty. And I'm just using this deliciously golden candle to seal my intentions of prosperity and abundance and this delicious like sunny vitality energy.
I've definitely gotten wax and cinnamon on my mic.
So this definitely is the most extra looking spell jar I've ever made, but that's like so perfect because I want to allow myself to live like the extra girl that I am, the wild woman. Like she's so cute.
What is that green stone over there?
It's Amazonite, so it's more of like a blue stone. Like so, but that's good for like the Aquarius full moon.
Oh, maybe I'll put
like
one of those on top then.
Yeah.
So I'm putting Amazonite on top of my spell jar and just decorating the outside with moss too.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't specify, but I put moss on mine, a little bit more of the purple salt, and then a little gold stone on top.
So cute.
Yes. So by the time you're listening to this, it will be past the full moon and past Lunasa, but you can still celebrate this energy. I believe that this is a really great time to find gratitude for all that you have, the blessings that you have already around you, but also a time to celebrate all of your hard work, what you have accomplished so far and what you have brought to fruition thus far, to celebrate that, because summer is a very high energy time. We're doing, and acknowledge that and be grateful for that, and just sit in that for a little bit. But also this full moon is asking us to release the fear of rejection and the fear of being seen. So allowing yourself to notice or think about how or where that shows up for you and what you might do to change that.
Okay, spell jar's complete. I love it.
Yes, they're
I'm
so cute.
Look
at our babies.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Oh my gosh.
And you can make spell jars anytime. As she said, you'll be listening to this after the full moon in Aquarius, but there is a full moon every month, so you can kind of get ideas for what you might want to put in your spell jars and prepare for the next one, or make one whenever you want just for fun, because why not? It is a happy, fun little thing to do.
It is so fun. So we are going to pull a tarot card for you guys to leave a message for you, something that you can think about, journal on. But before we finish up, I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening. And I hope that this kind of gives you an insight of what it's like to embody your inner witch and know that it's safe and fun. And, if you want to know more about this, or, listen to us talk about this a little more, our previous episode is all about this. And, I know part of my purpose is to allow us to explore our inner magic. And I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to help you do that and to share this knowledge and this way of life with you. And it's just so magical. And I'm so grateful to have someone that I can do this with. And
Me
that is
too.
magical. And like we've said, two is more powerful than
Yeah.
just yourself. So,
Mhm.
you know, if you know someone that you would like to try to do this with, like, reach out to them and just see if you never know,
Mhm.
just allow yourself to embody that, and you'll find people around you that.
Resonate.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And also, thank you for being a part of our community. We appreciate you so much, and we couldn't do it without your support. And thank you. Thank you. So the card we pulled is the Seeker, aka the Fool. It is the first card in every tarot deck, and it is representative of everyone. So I'll read it to you. It says, in a wasted landscape, the seeker, who represents everyone, sets out on a quest, taking the rainbow path, impelled by the song of the birds of Rhiannon, who enable him to follow his vision. When the world is laid to waste and people yearn for healing, seekers heed the call to find solutions. Their quests open up possibilities. So, in order for anything to exist, it must exist in the mind of someone first. And your visions, your ideas may seem outlandish or too big to other people, but if you believe in them, they are possible. So take the rainbow path and believe in your dreams and listen to your intuition. There are three birds here. Three little birds sat by my doorstep, singing sweet songs. And birds bring messages, and they remind us to follow our intuition and to keep the faith. It's quite a long one here in this book. So basically, it says that potentially every seeker is the Grail winner, and that represents like a person who is successful in their life path. And the only way to reach that success is by believing in yourself. So, upright, this card represents childlike trust, divine discontent, which, as humans, we always have these desires forever and ever. There's always more desires, but it reminds us not to get stuck in contentment and be stagnant in life, because we are here to expand. It also represents protection, the folly to be wise, optimism, adventure, spontaneity, youthful energy, and the Fool is the perfect fool. So sometimes it's best to let your thoughts go and just to be. Reversed, which we did not pull it reversed, for the record, we pulled it upwise, and ironically, I pulled this card when I was pulling cards alone this morning, so this is really the card of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Reversed, it can represent foolhardiness, limitations of ignorance, reactionism. And the questions that the card asks for you are: how does spontaneity and trust keep you on this path? What enthusiasm do you feel? And what possibilities are calling you forth? Which I think, those are wonderful questions to ask yourself all the time. What's your highest excitement? That's what you should be doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that falls very in alignment with where we're at in the wheel of the year as well. After we are past the summer solstice, so we are on the latter side of summer, but it's still a time where we kind of we did all of our doing. We planted our seeds and we worked hard to help them grow, and now it's time to just relish in adventure and spontaneity before fall. So really allowing yourself to seek adventure before we begin to slow down, which, so I really love that.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the first part of what you had said, uh, it said, when the world is laid to waste and people yearn for healing, which I think is a similar place where we're at in the world today. And then it says, seekers heed the call to find the solutions. Their quests open up possibilities. And to me, that's like calling upon, to me, seekers is like witches.
Mm-hmm.
Like the witches are being called upon to reignite like living in tune with the natural world, and like a resurgence of the past ways of doing. Like it's calling upon us to bring healing and change to the world,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can open up new possibilities for our futures.
Yeah, it reminds me of the song too. I think it's by the Beatles. Some say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to keep that faith and really listen to your intuition, because in doing that, you are raising your own frequency, and you might think that that's irrelevant, but it's not. It snowballs. Energy is contagious, and from a logical perspective, you think you're in a good mood and you might smile at somebody else and it might make their day, and you might be kind to the other people you come in contact with and it might make their day, and then they might make someone else's day. And that's really the point of this podcast for us, is to literally help raise the frequency, because one person in alignment is more powerful than millions who are not.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that and by truly following your intuition, we can save the world.
Mm-hmm.
Even if listening to this just makes you feel a little better, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all that comes of it, that alone is helping raise the frequency. So again,
Mm-hmm.
like, we really appreciate you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a fun episode.
Yes. All right. Well, I hope you make some spell jars. Comment below if you do. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, send us pictures.
Yes.
We'd love to see.
We would. And we will see you in the next episode.
Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you.